Welcome back to Fantasy 1.0, Week 5. It's early. Waivers and streamers.
Put your seatbelt on and yield for the apocalypse, yeah. It's the apocalypse, yeah.
It's pretty started with a quiet edition. The girls are sleeping upstairs. Pretty early here for work. All right. Not a huge list this week, but some guys to walk through and to consider. Then we're going to hit up some D's, some quarterbacks. Gronk might be sitting this week, so we're going to be looking extra a little bit closer to tight ends too, even though there's not much out there because everybody's hurt. And then just some guys to look out for in terms of drops on the bye week. People do some dumb stuff. Once they start getting their roster squeezed with bye weeks. Okay. Taylor Gabriel, 6% owned. He's averaging 7+ targets a week. He had a big week with Chicago. He's their number 2 wide receiver, and he outperformed Allen Robinson. That offense was really clicking. I guess it's because they were playing Tampa Bay. But, 6 touchdown passes from Mitch Trubisky. I think 5 in the first half. Pretty intense. So maybe these are, I don't know if you're going to be starting him every week or anything like that, but he could turn into something. So somebody that you want to pick up, low fab budget, but, keep your eye out for him. All right, I like this name here, Keke Coutee of the Texans, 3% owned. He's going to get, he got 15 looks this week. He got 15 targets, 11 catches, I think 100+ receiving yards. Anyways, if Fuller sits, this guy's going to be the number 2 in that offense because he doesn't look like he's throwing the ball at Lamar Miller much anymore either anyways. So off you go with that guy. Again, 3% owned. Hines, I've been talking about this for a long time. Their backfield's a mess. I don't care if Robert Turbin's coming back. People seem to think that's a thing. It's not a thing. So he's 15% owned. I'd say a 0.5 PPR to a full point PPR. You pick this guy up. He had, I think, 2 touchdowns last week, like 60 receiving yards. It's sort of how they're using that backfield. They're just giving him short passes, and that equates to a run. So just pick him up, man. Like, I tell people week after week to pick certain guys up, and then all of a sudden, they're gone. They're gone. Okay, Taywan Taylor, 3% owned. He's the wide receiver 2 now in Tennessee. Now that they have a passing attack again because Mariotta's back. But then with that, Delaney Walker's out. Mathews decided to not play football anymore, so he's dead too. Anyways, he had a big week last week. I expect more of that too. He's very talented. And at 3% owned. So, all right. Second week I'm saying this, or second episode I'm saying this, but Ronald Jones, I don't think it's his time or anything, but I do think at 24% owned, I think he's going to take over that crappy, terrible backfield, but he is going to be a lead back, I think. Peyton Barber just can't get it done. I think they're going to be switching things around. I think Winston's going to be taking over quarterback after what happened last week. They're going into a bye, but then after this, I think they're going to start retooling. I think Jones is going to get a shot now too. Even though he got a shot in the preseason, he was terrible. Anyways, low fab. Don't spend a lot of money on this, but just keep him on the end of your bench and see what happens. Aaron Jones, he's 72% owned. Again, another guy I've been harping at you week after week after week. I watched the game, and it does look like they go Montgomery for a drive, Williams for a drive, Jones for a drive. The first 2 don't do anything, and then Jones lets it up. So I'm hoping McCarthy eventually figures it out that this guy's good. This guy's got RB1 talent. They just got to give him the run, and if he isn't available, trade for him. This is a guy you need to get on your team. Tariq Cohen, I don't know what's going on with Tariq Cohen and Jordan Howard, or if there's any sort of an injury that Jordan Howard has sustained and we're just not hearing about it. I do know that Cohen got like 45% of the snaps last week. The offense looked amazing. It looked more dynamic. So he's 62% on, but take a flyer on him if he's available. And they're going into a bye, so this guy could even get dropped. Maybe not after the week he had, but anyways, pick him up or throw something little at another team who has him and see what you can, if you could pull him in. Maybe do that during the bye. I don't know. He's sitting on the end of some of my benches just in case he does blow up. Again, he is another guy that's super talented, so I'd like to see what happens there. All right, let's stream some Ds. What do we got? Houston, 75% on playing the Cowboys. As you know, the Cowboys have no wide receivers, so that bodes well for a defense. Denver 63% owned. They're playing the Jets. Gonna be a lot easier than the game last night against the Chiefs. I'm sure. I almost guarantee that. Cleveland's 54% owned. Very underrated defense. They're playing Baltimore. Carolina's 40% owned. They're playing the Giants, who looked absolutely terrible against New Orleans' D. I don't think Peyton Manning attempted to pass more than 11 yards that game. It was a pretty pathetic game with all the weapons he has. And me being a Giants fan, I was a little bit upset. Tennessee against Buffalo. I'm really ticked off at the Titans right now because I put some money on Philly. That was my lock bet of the week. My first loss of the season. I'm ashamed, and I'm embarrassed. But Tennessee just always finds a way to squeak it out, and their defense is pretty sound, and they're playing Buffalo, who just got shut out by Green Bay. QB streamers. Now, here's the thing to talk about. Like, there's like 20 quarterbacks that are potential top 5, top 10 quarterbacks every week. There's just a lot of offense going through the quarterback this year. And this is a deeper position than I can remember ever. Anyways, Andy Dalton, I think should be almost starting every week now. If you've got him on your team, you should probably be holding on to him. He's 62% on. He's playing the Dolphins. Dolphins got destroyed by the Patriots last week. Since he's got a great look on offense this year too. ASmith, 55% on, playing against New Orleans, who that defense can't look as good as it did last week against the Giants. Anyways, Baker Mayfield, 44%, playing the Ravens. Blake Bortles, 33% against the Chiefs, who, as you know, don't like defending the pass at all. Early anything. So, and Bortles is like a good week, a bad week, a good week, a bad week. I think that he'll have a good week this week. I don't think that's so bold of a prediction. I'm going to call it bold prediction. All right, anyways. So, if you had Tyler Eifert, if you had Delaney Walker, if you had blah, 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 blah. I mean, Evan Ingram, all the tight ends are getting hurt this year. So, we got to start. And I think Gronk is going to sit this week. He was hurt. Well, he left the game on Sunday. He didn't practice Monday. I don't think he's going to play on Thursday, which means if you got Gronk or if you got any of the guys I mentioned, you need a tight end. So, here's some guys you might want to consider. It's not a long list because there just isn't a lot out there. JCook, he's 85% owned. I can't believe I'm saying JCook is a good tight end, but he's a preferred target for David Carr, so keep an eye out for him. Make an offer for him. I mean, these guys are a commodity now. T.Y. appears hurt, Eric Ebron. T.Y. looks hurt. Jack Doyle looks hurt. Luck is just running out of people to pass the ball to. Ebron's 80% owned, but keep an eye out for him. Pick him up. Njoku, 76% owned. He's gotten 3 out of 4 weeks, he's gotten 7 targets. So he's getting looks, and he got 7 targets on Sunday. So Baker Mayfield looks for him too. He could start blowing up. So that's a guy. It's 76% owned, probably taken up in your league. But anyways, grab him. Tight ends are a commodity right now. So if you can grab a second one and then trade him away to somebody else who's in dire straits, and go ahead and do that. Vance McDonald's 43% owned with Steelers. So that's another guy to look at too. Is there anybody else I wanted to mention? Like, stay away from the Hayden Hurst if you can, and the Gesicki's. Like, they're not going to do anything yet. They're going to take some time if they even do anything this year. Just let them sort of gel into the offense. Even though he looked terrible last week, grab these guys or like a Ben Watson or something like that. It's really what you're stuck with. That's why I used to stream tight ends, and now I don't. Now I want my Gronk, I want my Kelsey, I want my Ertz. I can just forget about it because the drop off after them to the dumpster fires is pretty significant. But speaking of which, Gronk is out. So remember, I don't think he's going to play this week. So get ahead of this on the waiver wire and pick somebody up to sit on your bench. And if Gronk plays, all the better. If not, you got somebody else in play, and you're not scrambling at the last minute, which I did with Chris Carson on Sunday when he was that last minute scratch. Thanks again, Pete Carroll, for always just being you. And then not starting Rashad Penny, but starting Mike Smith. By the way, don't pick up Mike Smith. Just don't. Even if Carson sits again, just don't pick him up. What else I got? Oh, Amari Cooper. If you have him, he had a big week again, right? The whack-a-mole fantasy football. Start him. He's terrible. Sit him. He's great. Just trade him away. Who's available on some teams right now, too? Just come to think of it. Like, I saw him available in 2 of my 11 leagues. Corey Davis. So people dropped him. And now he has his quarterback back, and he looked amazing. He had like, 150 receiving yards or something like that. So just keep an eye out for him. If he's out there, spend some fab on that guy. Like, put 30% of your fab on him. Like, that's a wide receiver 1. Very good chance it's a wide receiver 1. High end 2. Okay, who's sitting this week? The Bucs are sitting, and the Bears are sitting. So keep your eye out. Remember, on Wednesday, you're going to see some really stupid managers drop some really good players. So, again, some Bears might be out there, some Bucs might be out there. 2 pretty good offenses. But just keep your eye out. Some people are going to get frustrated with a really good player. They spent some decent draft capital on. They're going to drop them for some Yahoo. If you see that, you pick that player up. So a lot of times, it's good to just not blow the budget, not blow your waiver position on subpar players. Wait for these good players, because every week I see people dropping really good players. So keep your eye out for that on Wednesdays too. Okay, so subscribe, comment here. What do you want to talk about? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Hit me up on Twitter. It's down there too. Remember, two shows a week, so it is waiver wires, just like this. Waiver pickups and streamers. And then Friday we're going to talk trade targets, DFS, sits and starts. And my bet of the week, which didn't work out last week, but you know what? I'll own it, and I'll get it right this week. All right. Yeah, so that's it. Take it easy. All right, have a good day. And yeah, good luck with waivers.
Put your seatbelt on and yield. It's the apocalypse, yeah!